Hey y'all, hey. Okay, so I just want to real quick expose a tactic that the enemy has been using lately. Um, and basically what he's been doing lately, I've experienced myself to where, I'm sorry, I'm tired, to where he's been trying to harden our hearts. He's been trying to influence our hearts against the things that God has for us. Okay. He's been trying to harden our hearts. Like, for instance, he was trying to harden my heart against someone God told me to pray for. Okay. Um, and I believe this is a tactic he's doing for different people. So I want to make this message real quick. For me, he was bringing up old things. He was trying to make me feel some type of way. I think he did it on both ends. I think he did it to that person as well. So he was trying to harden our hearts against each other, to cause confusion and separation or whatever, right? Or, well, that could be for somebody. That could be for somebody. But yeah, basically that's a tactic that I've been feeling lately, right? To where he is trying to give you certain thoughts to make you feel a certain type of way about an individual that God has told you to pray for. Okay, but you're possibly having a hard time praying for them because now your heart is hard towards that person. And so I just wanted to expose it as a tactic from the enemy. These particular people, and for this, a lot of these are prodigals, because God is working on the prodigals' hearts, and right now they really need our prayers. But God was showing me too that the enemy is intentionally trying to harden our hearts towards some of these people so that we won't pray for them, or cause us to be fearful so we won't want some of the things that God has for us. He wants us to be, the enemy wants us to be afraid of it. So if you're having bad thoughts or, thoughts about the past and you're entertaining this stuff, you just need to rebuke it and remember what God has told you and shown you. This is why it's good to keep journals. This is why it's good to make recordings of the things God has told you and shown you. So you go back, you play those things over, you listen to that because that's the truth. You can't replay the lies from the enemy in your head, right? So what you do is you go and you pick up God's truth, right? If you have old journals, go read them. If you have old recordings, go listen to them, or just sit and talk with God and ask him to help you remember, remember the things that God told you he has for you, and that these things and people are good. He knows what you've been through. God only knows how to give good gifts. So you need to trust him on that. You need to trust him on that. So anyways, just exposing the enemy tactics. He is intentionally trying to harden our hearts, trying to sow thoughts in our mind, to harden our hearts towards the things and people that God has led us to pray for, that God is leading us to get excited about, okay? God wants you excited about this because this is a good gift. You should be praising God in advance and preparing. The enemy wants you to stop preparing too. So spend some time with God, get things back on track. But I just want to expose the lie and expose what the tactic he's trying to use right now. Another thing, I was doing a delivery job the other day, and I kept seeing like I was being delayed at those jobs. And what it was, I was there. It was the people who I was waiting on. And I was waiting on them to do their part so I can get the item and deliver it. For some of y'all, God is waiting on y'all to do what he told y'all to do in certain areas. I'm just adding this on here because I feel like it's relative. So, for instance, God also showed me too in a dream that for a prodigal that they had tape on their eyes. And I was the one to remove the tape away from their eyes. I was the one to take the tape off of their eyes. And he showed me that I did that through prayer. So if the enemy has you upset with a person that God is telling you to pray for, it's going to make it very hard for you to pray for that person. But your prayers are necessary. In the dream, I was literally the one removing the tape from their eyes. And like I said, God showed me I did that through prayer. You can do that through prayer or fasting or praise and worship, however God leads you. But whatever he's telling you to do, relative to that, make sure you are doing it, and make sure you keep your heart right. Keep your heart ready. Ready. Right? Like, so when I say get ready and prepare, I'm not just talking about the physical aspect. He was talking to me about our heart being ready to receive. Right? We have to have a heart ready to receive what he has for us. So the enemy is doing his best to poison our heart so it won't be ready. Oh, Jesus. We have a part to play in this. That's the best way I know how to say this, y'all. For some of us, he said, remember, we have a part to play in this. So make sure you keep get your heart right with God if it's not, and rebuke those lies, and make sure you're in a posture to where you're ready. You're ready, and you're continually doing what God is leading you to do. And if God is telling you to rest, then rest. Okay, sometimes his instructions are simply rest and trust him. Whatever he's leading you to do, make sure you're doing it, and rebuke the enemy. And yeah, I just want to expose that tactic. Okay, all right, I love y'all, and y'all be blessed.